Grabbing the boards like, I'ma go coast to coast. I'm on beats like Dosey Do. They don't wanna go toe to toe. Step into my court, you get put in the poster. We ain't talk to nobody if you ain't with the smoke. Run up on me, watch your ankles get broke.
Yo, what up? It's your man's JDMC. We back with another video. You know the vibes. Today I'm gonna do day 3 and day 4 of free agency, just to update video. There's actually still been a lot of fire moves happening. I did day 1 and 2 as their own video, but I waited to do day 3 and 4 together just so we have more content updates to go over. And now we're seeing a lot of like players getting picked up just to fill rosters. So I'm not going to mention like everything because there's like some players who we just really like don't care about, who probably won't even see minutes. So I'm just going to go through sort of like the main ones, or the ones that I thought were worth sort of covering and keeping you guys updated on. But yeah, let's stop wasting time and let's get into it. So Bryn Forbes goes to the Bucks for 2 years. This is actually real nice because he was solid shooter on the Spurs. This is a real underrated move, I think. I definitely think he has a lot of shooting around like Giannis and stuff, and they definitely need to fill out those guard spots. So this is a real good pickup for the Bucks. I don't know what the money's like yet. It's just been reported that he's just going for a 2-year deal. Harry Giles as well goes... Harry Giles or Giles. 1-year deal with the Blazers as well. He only played, I think, 17 games last year. He had like, I think, 15 double-digit games, and he had like a 23-point game. So he's definitely got a lot of upside. He will sort of be like a backup center, and he can maybe squeeze into that power forward role. So he's only 22, so that's definitely a good pickup for the Blazers. Again, I don't know how much money the contract is. Donovan Mitchell has agreed to a 5-year, $163 million extension with a max deal of $195. Again, like I mentioned in the Fox extension, he can get $195 if he makes like all NBA first teams, and he's guaranteed $163 million. So good work, Donovan. You deserve that. Tory Craig has agreed to a deal with the Bucks. Again, sorry, they're not really releasing too much about contract details like they were in the first day and 2, but he's going to the Bucks because I think the Nuggets had too much roster spots. He has good defense on their wing. They definitely needed that. Behind Middleton, he'll be a good defender. Kimbazemon has agreed to a 1-year deal with the Warriors, so he's going back to the Warriors. I seen Curry put up a post about this, so he was obviously hyped to get him back. Again, a good defender. Quite limited offensively, but they'll definitely just use him for his defense, and he's there for a year. I think it's a veteran minimum, but I'm not sure on the contract. And update on Bogdan. So Bogdan has signed a 4-year, $72 million deal with the Hawks, but Sacramento has 48 hours to match it. So I think it's been about 24 hours now. The Hawks are definitely putting pressure on Sacramento because I think Sacramento were procrastinating trying to get like a sign and trade, but the Hawks have definitely pressed them with this, because if Sacramento can't match it or sign and trade within the 48 hours, then they just lose them just to the Hawks. Free agent Damian Jones has agreed to a 2-year max deal with the Suns. Again, this is just a nice little move to just fill out their roster. He could be a good backup center if you're giving him like 10 to 15 minutes a game. He has championship experience with the Warriors, and he's still young, so that's a good little pickup. CauleyStein has stayed for 2 years, $8.2 million with the Mavs. I know he didn't play in the playoffs, but did we get to see him in the Mavs much? He's got himself $4 million a year, so good on him. I know he's like 7 foot, he can run the floor well, but that's good for the Mavs, I guess. Jayson Tatum, like Donovan as well, has signed that 5-year extension, and he can get $195 at the max. I'm pretty sure, I'm assuming his is $163 guaranteed as well, depending on like all NBA teams he makes. So yeah, again, good work to Jayson Tatum. It's good for those Celtics fans to hold on to him. The New York Knicks have signed Austin Rivers to a 1-year deal, but it's just been updated. It's a 3-year deal for $10 million. Austin Rivers is solid. I think he's quite an all-round player. Going to the Knicks doesn't really mean anything, but at least he can go ball out a bit if he wants. And the Lakers have made a move. So they've traded JaVale McGee and a 2nd-round pick for Alfonso McKinney and Jordan Bell, who go to the Lakers. I believe they've kept Alfonso McKinney because they announced he's officially a Laker. I think, but I haven't seen it confirmed yet, that they're going to waive Jordan Bell, and then they'll have, I think, 3 spots to fill out, and they'll just have to use the veteran minimum for all of those because I've hard capped. So I'm hoping to see like a Jared Dudley back maybe, or Trevor Ariza. I think he's a free agent. I think OKC released him, so if we can add him just as a veteran presence, and he could play a few minutes still, that would be nice because we are a bit thin on the wing. And Marc Gasol goes to the Lakers. So after that JaVale McGee trade, they cleared a little bit of cap room with JaVale's contract, which I think was $4 million. They've signed Marc Gasol to a 2-year deal. The money's not announced yet, but I'm pretty sure it'll be quite low because they didn't have much to work with. But this is really nice. The Lakers do lose rim protection, but what we add is a center who can play make and he can shoot the three. So that starting lineup, assuming that Dennis Schroeder comes off the bench, can just be all shooters pretty much with LeBron facilitating. And then you've just got some dogs off the bench. If you can bring off Kuzma, Dennis Schroeder, Caruso, and Montrezl Harrell off the bench, teams aren't going to have time to breathe against the Lakers. So I really do like this. Although we do lose rim protection, I think we add a little bit more skill, and we still have Montrezl Harrell who can just dog down low. Aaron Baines has agreed to a 2-year, $14.3 million deal with the Raptors. I really like him. He is past 30 now, but he can shoot. He's an efficient player. He defends hard. He's like 6'10 plus, I'm pretty sure. So he's a really solid pickup, especially going to the Raptors now that they've lost Marc Gasol and Serge. It's good to fill out the spot, so he's a good addition for them. Same as Chris Bosher. I always thought it was Brosher. Chris Bosher. Sorry if I got that wrong. Correct me in the comments. He signs a 2-year, $13.5 million deal to stay with the Raptors. Again, he's got a lot of upside, especially defensively. He needs to get a bit more skilled, but it's good for the Raptors to hold on to some big men. And the Suns have signed Dario Saric. Yeah, Dario Saric has agreed to a 3-year, $27 million deal to stay with the Suns. He's nice. He can stretch the floor. The Suns do have a solid looking roster now. Good continuity and stuff, so that's good for them to bring him back for a decent price. And we got Markieff back, so he's coming back to the Lakers on a 1-year deal. I'm assuming it's a veteran's minimum. This is really nice because he can sort of be like that 10th man. We can play him at the 5 when we need, if we don't want to give Gasol and Montrez all the minutes. He can also play the 4 and stretch it somewhat, and then that can push Kuzma into the 3rd, so we can have a full sort of backup team if we want to like sit LeBron and AD down in certain games. So this is really good. I like bringing him back. He's another veteran, and he's a tough dude, so that helps the Lakers out. I'm happy with that one. Money hasn't been announced with this, but the Raptors also get Alex Len, which I think is also really nice. So now they've added Baines, got Bosher back, or Brosher, whatever his name is. And now they've added Alex Len, who's a similar player to Baines. I don't think he's as skilled as shooting-wise and stuff like that, but he's definitely a big body, so that's nice for them as well to fill out that center spot. And it came out the Wizards GM said that he's not going to trade John Wall. So we're just going to assume that John Wall's going to play for the Wizards this year. If he gets traded mid-season or if something changes, I'll keep you guys updated. But at this stage, John Wall is not getting traded. So that takes off the table Westbrook to Wizards. That sort of takes away a couple things that we thought might sort of happen. But at this stage, John Wall's going to stay with the Wizards. And Matthew Davidova signs a 1-year veteran minimum to stay with the Cavs. I think at this point he has to be the only dude still at the Cavs that LeBron played with, right? Comment down below if I'm wrong, but now that Tristan Thompson's left, like who else on that Cavs team with LeBron? Oh, apart from that, what's his name? The white small forward dude. Something. He was there. I think he was like the 12th man when LeBron was there. I think he has to be the only one. Him and Deli. And Taco 4 has signed I think it was another 2-year, 2-way deal. So he can play G League and he can fill in the roster spot. So that's good for him because as an NBA fan, we all love Taco 4. And if you're a Celtics fan, you know, he's a fan favorite. So that's good to keep him on the team. And the last one of the day, Boogie goes to the Rockets. See, the Boogie things are always a bit confusing because you don't know if you want to overhype it or if you're underhyping it. Obviously, it depends on if he can stay healthy. If he can stay healthy and even be 60 to 80% of what we've seen him at his prime, he's still a solid player. I'm pretty sure it's a 1-year non-guaranteed contract, so the Rockets are really not taking much of a risk on this. It's a low risk, high reward sort of sign if he can, you know, still be somewhat DeMarcus Cousins. So that's really big for them, the Rockets. But again, what are they doing? Obviously, they can't trade Westbrook to Wizards now, it seems, but is Harden still going? I've heard that they're planning on holding on to them. So yeah, they do still have a solid roster. They could still be a playoff team if they keep all their players and make some moves, but we'll definitely have to keep an eye on the Rockets going into next season. But yeah, that's all for that video. Make sure to like and subscribe. Again, I say this every video, but thank you so much for the support lately. It's been crazy. I'm gonna try to keep this ball rolling, and going into the season, we'll be making heaps of videos covering stuff that happens in the season and all that jazz. So, and comment down below what you think sort of the biggest moves of day 3 and day 4 of free agency was. But yeah, I'll catch you guys next time. Peace.